The cost of living in Germany right now, guys, you have absolutely no idea. Even me myself, I am shocked because today I just said, okay, let me fill my car with gas. I drive a diesel engine, and sometimes it is what it is. You have to tank your car, otherwise you won't be able to drive it. Of course, this is something that we all know. Guys, I was shocked with the rude reality right now that we are all experiencing. There are so many reasons to this. The whatever is going on in Iran and some other countries, we all, if you say you don't know what's happening right now in this region of the world, then you are living under the rock. All right. But this will be the first time I will go out and really experience, witness the rising cost of living. You can see diesel today was selling for €2 47 per liter. This is crazy. Just 2 months ago, this was about €1 67, which was still very, very expensive, because when I came to this country, there about 15 years ago, this thing was just cents, sometimes 97 cents. We are still complaining, 89 cents, we are still complaining. Right now, it is €2 47. And I'm asking myself, where is this all leading to? Even when it was being sold for €1 67, things were still very, very expensive. You go to the supermarket, you want to buy anything, you realize that this thing overnight has added, a new price. You want to buy butter, you want to buy milk, you want to buy, little things that we used to buy without thinking. Rice, this little parboiled rice. Right now, everything has become so expensive. As if that's not enough, the rising cost of gas, guys, it is scary, because right now it is very expensive to live here. You see, people are suffering. People do not have jobs. People have jobs. Some people have jobs, but the job, they are grossly underpaid in this job. People still get €1,400 for a full-time job, 40 hours a week. It is crazy. And I'm asking myself, okay, now the cost of gas is increasing, the cost of food items increasing, the cost of rent, because when the cost of gas is increasing, at some point the owner of the apartment or the property where you live is going to come and say, look, I think I want to increase my rent. And before you know it, the transport company will say, look, things have become very expensive. It's kind of, you don't even need to think about it. If you realize that the price per liter of diesel has gone so high, these people are going to increase their prices very soon. The post office is going to come around and say, which has pretty much been every year. Every year, there's always a little increase in postage costs. And before you know it, the farmers that go to the farm to farm and bring their stuff to the supermarket or wherever they sell, everything's going to be expensive. The truck that's coming from far away Poland or wherever these trucks are coming from with food stuff and other stuff, they are also going to ask for more money from the consumers, because they have to pass these expenses to somebody. But the problem is, you as a worker, there's pretty much nowhere you can pass these expenses to, because you naturally have to wait for your union. If you have a responsible job where the union is very forceful, they have to really sit down with management and say, look, these workers are going through pain to come to this job. If you drive with the bus or with the train, you might not be feeling this right now, but if you have to drive 100 kilometers to your place of work, I normally drive, going and coming 110 kilometers every day. Luckily, I had to change something about the whole combination of work business thing that I was doing. I had to change something, to kind of meet with this current reality. It's just not sustainable. You are living so far away from your place of work, and you have to drive, and you have to tank your car for €2 47. Guys, this is literally crazy. Right now, people are not smiling. I'm telling you, I can feel it. People come to work, they are angry. It's 6 o'clock in the morning, you say good morning to somebody, person's already angry because person doesn't know why he or she has to spend so much money to come to a job, at the end of the day, be paid so little. And the most annoying thing is that we are pretty much living a time where you can no longer just say, you know what, I want to change this job. you flip something and you get a new job. Right now, it's really, really difficult, especially when you are looking at getting a professional job. I'm talking about working in a warehouse, which you can still get every other day. But if you want to have a professional job, it might be a little bit tricky. You have to really, put in a lot of effort to apply, to prepare yourself, and to even fight with the AI that is currently taking a lot of jobs right now. Guys, think about this. And sometimes I don't hear these things enough on social media. People are complaining. People are still kind of flashing a lot of, gold chain. Forget this one I'm wearing here. This is just silver, kind of not original. Let me just put it out there. All right. People are still flashing all manner of, of flamboyance on social media. Oh, look at me. I just got this new shoe. But I'm taking a look and like, what are you guys getting this money from? Things have become really, really expensive. And it's kind of getting scary. If the price of diesel has increased, the price of benzene has increased, the price of even gas has increased. Nobody knows how long this is going to last, but I kind of heard a few days ago that they are trying to do something with this, these tank gas stations or tank stations, we call them filling stations, to make sure that the prices are not just rising per second, because I also don't understand if you as a tank station bought let's say diesel 2 days ago, you already have the diesel on the ground. So why can't your price stay fixed for the next 2 or 3 days until you are sold out? Why does it have to change every two hours? If somebody knows anything about this, please go to the comment section and look, make it make sense to me, because sometimes I'm kind of thinking that these guys are also playing some tricks with us, because you have received new supplies. This is presupposing that you've already paid for it. You need time to finish selling it before you get the next expensive inventory, but you realize that they received new supplies and 2 hours later it's still not sold out, but they already tell you that the price is increasing. It's kind of just crazy. See, at the end of the day, I just didn't want to fill my tank. I ended up buying for like 45 euros just to see if perhaps that's going to take me up till next week. Technically, perhaps after the holidays, the Easter holiday and stuff like that, it might be a little bit cheaper again. This is how we are now having to manage the situation. Otherwise, it just makes no sense to fill up your car where you do not have money in the pocket. Makes absolutely no sense. In my opinion, things have to really, really change. Otherwise, people are going to be walking on the street only angry and just not so sure what they are going to do next. And that is a very, very bad situation to be in. And it's exactly what we are gradually experiencing right now. People are having difficulties getting a house. People are having difficulties getting even a good apartment, because sometimes now you pretty much have to take what you see. I'm talking about some cities in northern Germany. I'm talking about if you live in this region where I live in. I live close to Munich, maybe like 60 or 70 kilometers from Munich. Right now, it is so terrible to even get a little apartment there. And now, a lot of people are having to live far away in Freising. Even Freising is no longer so cheap. In Tolling, in Moosburg, in Mainburg, people have to commute sometimes 120 kilometers, all because they want to save on housing costs. That used to be the game. But right now, it's no longer feasible to even live 150 kilometers from your work, because first, you're going to be saving on housing costs, and then the money, whatever you think you are saving, is going to be going, to tanking your car. That makes no sense. And this is exactly why I am making this video, just to draw your awareness to the fact that, things have changed. The economic situations here have become very, very daring. Gone are the days where you could just come, with 200 euros in your pocket, you could be balling. But right now, I'm telling you, that is no longer the case. And it's becoming a little bit scary. Becoming a little bit scary, guys. So think twice. Of course, Germany is a beautiful country to want to live in. It's very developed, but it is what it is. When you have a lot of development going on, a lot of technological changes, some things like this in the world, whenever there's a little shake up in some regions, has also a way of affecting your own economy. And this is exactly what we are seeing right now. I hope the situation changes pretty soon, because if this is to continue, very soon we're going to be seeing, a very, very astronomical increase in the cost of food items. And when that begins to happen, a lot of people are beginning to, a lot of people will be forced to throw in the towel, because if the employer is not sitting down to say, look, I want to make an increase in your salary for you to be able to weather this increase in cost of living, if they are not doing that, people may have to seek alternative ways, to go to work. And one way I have seen that people kind of weather the storm on their own is just to call in and say, look, I'm sick. And that has been happening for a very, very long time. Of course, one cannot really prove that. Somebody can just call in, I'm sick. This is what it is, because the person doesn't want to go to work. The idea is, if you can get a job that is close to your house, if you can get a job that is at a walkable distance, perhaps a place where you can actually ride your bike to, that would be a very good way to weather the storm in times like this. Otherwise, I'm telling you guys, the employers have to do better. The system has to do better to ensure that the income, the money that people go out to toil and work for is kind of preserved. Situation where you go to work for 26, 27 days in a month, and before you even get the salary, it's already spent. The housing takes its own share, the gas takes its own share, every other thing you need to live, electricity, internet, and all stuff like that, they take their own share. At the end of the day, you are pretty much left with just chicken change left at the end of the month. That is not sustainable. Hopefully it changes. This video is meant to draw your awareness to what people are going through at the moment. If you like kind of content, please go ahead, click the like button, consider subscribing to the channel. Until I see you again in the next one, peace out.